Well, in my garden late this fall, I was inspired. It's these small moments each morning as I wander the path into the garden that I'm so amazed at the beauty, the resilience, and the many changes it goes through. As I walk it and stare out at the trees and the redwoods, I start to feel the tug, the call to get back to Yosemite. It beckons me. I hadn't been in several months, and with the hectic pace of life and work, I decided it was time to visit. So, I've decided that I am going to head out to Yosemite. I am really excited about it. It's been too long. So, I was chatting with my husband last night and we thought, why not? Let's just head on out. So that's what we're going to do. My brother is coming into town. It's a few days before Thanksgiving. He's coming in from Minneapolis. I really don't have to prepare very much for him. He's pretty self-sufficient, so that really frees up a lot of my time. So we're gonna head out tomorrow, which means that I'll have to pack tonight because tomorrow I am working a full day, but that's okay. I can make that work. So I'll leave work a little early at about 4, and then we'll hit the road. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so it'll take about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours, depending on how many times we stop. And then we'll arrive in the evening about 7:30, and then get ready to spend some time in the valley. I am so really excited to show you how I pack, some tips and some tricks, so let's go. Now it's time to pack, and I wanted to share with you sort of what I do when I pack. So a couple of things. First thing that I do is I review the weather, and I look at not just one source for weather, I look at a couple of sources for weather. Another pro tip is I like to look at the Yosemite Valley. There's a couple of webcams where you can actually see what it's like. So I do that, I check the weather. I also kind of determine how many days I'm going to be there and realistically what I'm going to be doing. That all is going to affect the way that you pack. I would not suggest winging it when you're going out to Yosemite, because it's going to make for, if you do that and you're not prepared, you're not going to have the best experience possible. So it's just really a good idea to be prepared. So for me, I'm going for 2 days. I'll go for one night, one full day, one full night, and then a little over a half day. My weather is going to be in the low 30s in the evenings or at night, and it's going to be anywhere between 56 to 58 degrees. So I'm from California, so it's going to be chilly for me, or at least what I'm used to, but it's not the coldest that it's going to be, and it's not going to be snowing. So that's a really important thing to understand, because if it is, depending on which entrance you're coming through, you may need snow chains, but you can see all of that, and I'll put that either up here or in the description. You can visit the Yosemite National Park website, and there's all kinds of updates in terms of road closures and whether chains are needed. But for this trip, it's not going to be snowing, and there is no chance of snow, so I don't have to worry about that. So I know that I'm not going to also be exerting myself. I'm going to be hiking and walking the valley, but I'm not going to be in the backcountry doing very technical hikes. So that also determines the kind of gear that I'm going to bring. So it's a little bit more low-key for me this trip. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to pack. So the first things that I'm going to pack are my base layers. That's how I start, because I don't want to forget them. So I always start with the base layers. So I'm going to bring three top layers, and they're all varying weights. So the first one, which is my favorite, is a really lightweight one. It's really a very technical fabric. It's very light, but it wicks. It keeps you cool and it keeps you warm, but it takes the moisture off your body. So that's probably the one that I'll wear the most. I'm also going to bring a medium weight one in case it gets a little too cold for me. And then I'm also going to bring a heavier weight one. This one is really heavy. It's fleece lined. I probably won't end up using this, but again, better to be safe than to be sorry. So I'm going to bring that just in case. And then in terms of my bottom layers, I'll bring one silk thermal underwear set, which is lighter but still warm and still wicks moisture. And then I'll bring a little bit of a heavier weight. This is a technical fabric. It's not fleece lined, but it's got some kind of a lining on the inside that keeps you warm, cool at the same time, and moisture. So I'll take 2 of those. I'm also I'm going to bring 2 pair of hiking pants. I only have one to show because I'm washing the other one, but these are also not my warm ones. I have some that are fleece lined. They're made for the snow, hiking in the snow, but I'm not going to need that. So these will be fine. And these are the ones that I wear almost every time I go, or this weight is what I wear every time I go. When it's not snowing. When it's snowing, I have a much heavier weight that I wear, but this will suffice. And then I like to assess, okay, do I want to bring clothes outside of hiking gear? And most of the time the answer is yes. So you don't have to dress fancy, you don't have to coordinate outfits unless you want to, that's your prerogative, but it is very common to go into even some of the really nice restaurant in Yosemite. You can go into the Awani Hotel's dining room. You can go into the Mountain Room at the Yosemite Valley Lodge, which are both nice restaurants. And it is not uncommon to see people in very casual hiking gear, athletic wear. It's very common. People just don't really dress up. So aside from my hiking gear, I'm going to bring 2 t-shirts, and I would say these are cotton, do not hike in cotton. You will be very miserable. You will sweat even in cold weather, and then as you sweat and it's cold, it's not going to wick the moisture away from your body, and you're going to be really uncomfortable. So do not ever hike in cotton, especially in cold weather. But I'm bringing 2 t-shirts. I'm also bringing a sweatshirt, and then I'm bringing a sweater, and most likely I'll wear this sweater on the way home. And then I'll be wearing a pair of jeans when we leave tomorrow, but I also bring an extra pair just in case that pair gets soiled. And since we're driving, it doesn't really matter. So I'll bring that. And then socks. Very important. I only wear wool socks. I wear wool socks when I hike in the summer, and I wear them when I hike in the winter. Wool is just a really good fabric to wear on your feet because it wicks away moisture. It helps keep your feet cool in the summer and warm in the winter. These are just really great. And also TMI, but your feet will start to stink the more that you're on them and the more that you're hiking, and these really help with your odor after you go on a really long hike. But I bring 4 pair just in case my feet get wet, or sometimes, I've had situations where the sock doesn't feel good with the shoe that I'm wearing, whatever. I definitely recommend bringing some extra pair, just kind of like you do when you bring extra underwear, that kind of a thing. Your choice. And then the next thing that I want to talk about are the external layers. So I'm going to be bringing 2 of these, they're like neck, I don't know what you call them. They go around your neck, like neck scarves, and they keep you really warm, especially when you're hiking in cooler weather. As you start to sweat and then you stop and slow down, that cold air can be really uncomfortable. So these are really nice if you need to blow your nose. I know that sounds gross, but blow your nose, wipe your face. They also function as a nice little hanky. So these are really useful. I'll be bringing 2. I'm going to bring 2 hats. I'm wearing one. It's a little chilly tonight. I'm going to bring this hat that I'm wearing, and then I'll bring another hat. But again, your choice. You don't have to do that. I normally bring a lighter pair of gloves. I can't seem to find them. So I'm going to bring these gloves. My hands don't really get very cold when I hike, but I'm going to bring them anyway. They're Gore-Tex, and they're a really nice pair, so I'll bring those. And then in terms of my jackets, I'm going to bring this down vest, which I probably wear when I hike, and then if I don't want to wear it anymore, I can roll it up in a little ball and I can put it in my pack. So that's really handy. I can wear it when I'm walking around the valley. It's got nice pockets. And then I will bring this parka. This is the parka that I like to hike in. It's very warm, but it's very thin. I don't like to wear a lot of bulky clothes when I hike. It's very annoying to me, especially when you're wearing a pack. So I like this one. It's pretty thin. And this one I got at the North Face, and so this is a really nice one, and I've had this for a while, so I really like it. And then I'm also going to bring a second one. This one is a lot longer. It goes down past my bottom, and it's got a hood. And this one is nice just when I'm walking around and I want to be a little warmer. Maybe I'm walking around the valley at night. It's just nice to have, and I don't know, it's just cozy to me, and I really like it. So I'm bringing two, but again, you could totally get away with just bringing one jacket. That's just my own preference. And now let's talk shoes. So for shoes, I am going to bring two pair of shoes. I'm going to bring my hiking boots. I have several pair of hiking boots. This is my not very technical pair. They're very comfortable. They're very good boots. They've got the nice Vibracom sole, so they can really take walking on rocks. That's another thing you'll have to that you should know about, is that when you're hiking, a lot of the trails have rocky terrain, and you could wear tennis shoes. I'm not going to say that you can't, because I see people that do, but it's not really comfortable, because eventually you start to feel those rocks, and after a mile, believe me, it's not going to feel good. So get yourself a decent pair of hiking boots. I did spend about $130 on these boots. I've spent more on my boots for my more technical hikes, but where I do invest my money, I don't spend a lot of money on gear. That's just not my thing. But where I do put my money is I definitely invest in my boots, because I want my feet to feel comfortable, because if your feet are not comfortable, you're not going to get very far. And in my my parka, I do invest in a good parka, but everything else, I don't really spend a lot of money on that. So I'm bringing these boots, and then I'm also going to bring these boots. They've got a really thick bottom. They're waterproof, and I think they're cute, and I can wear them. I can walk in them and be really comfortable. They're broken in. So these are the two pair of shoes that I will be bringing. And then so that's the gear that I'll be bringing in terms of like clothing. Gear wise, I'm going to bring my trekking poles. I don't think that we're going to be doing anything technical that will require them, but sometimes my husband convinces me to do hikes that I wasn't planning on doing, so I like to be prepared. So I'm bringing these poles. You can get, I mean, again, you don't have to spend a lot of money, especially when you're first starting out, but if you are someone who has trouble climbing up big rocks, these could be, on the trail, these can be really handy to help hoist you up and help brace you coming down. So I definitely recommend them. I just really like them. Plus they give you a nice upper body workout, and I think they're really helpful. So I'm bringing my poles, and then I'm going to be bringing this pack. I'm not going to be bringing my larger pack, because again, we're not going to be doing a 7-mile hike. At most, we'll be doing 1 to 2 miles, if that, and then walking the valley. So a pack would be overkill. So this pack, I love this pack. I can use it for hiking, and I can use it for cycling, which I love. But really what I love about it is that it has a lot of pockets. So your bladder goes in here, and even still, I can still like squirrel away some food and snacks in here. And then I've got a pocket here and another zip pocket here, and a little fob for keys. And then I've got all these, I don't know what the technical terms of all these little stringy doodads are, but I can hang things from them that I need. And I really love it. This is not sponsored. None of this is sponsored. This is just stuff that I love. This brand in particular, Osprey, I got this at REI. I paid about $120 for it. It's not cheap, but I've had this over 5 years, and I've used it for so many different things, and I love it. I love it so much. The other thing, and the reason why I did invest in it, is because it's got the belt, the waist belt, which is great, but it's got this lumbar in the back. And what this does is when you have a pack on your back, sometimes the pack sits on your back and it really digs into the lower back. And after a couple of miles, it really starts to be painful. It doesn't start off that way, but it does over time. What this does is it lifts, it has a cushion between your pack and your back. So the pack is never on your back, which is a really nice feature for this pack. And it's got really nice enforced shoulder handles, which I really love. This is a really fantastic one. So that's what I'm bringing. And then, of course, I'm bringing my sundries. I'm not bringing a lot of sundries just because when I'm in Yosemite, I don't care what I look like. Honestly, I don't care. I just care about taking a shower, moisturizing my face, and sunscreen. So it's really just the basics here, but you could bring whatever you want. And then all of that is going to fit in this big duffel bag. And that's pretty much it. And I'll be ready to go. So again, assess the weather, assess your activity, the amount of days that you want to stay, and then from there you can kind of pack accordingly. And again, I cannot stress enough, when you're going into cold weather, even if you're coming from a place where it snows, you will quickly acclimate to wherever you're at, and then you're going to be cold. So just take precaution and don't wing it. You don't want to ruin your trip to Yosemite. That's just the worst. And I've had that happen where I haven't planned correctly, and I get there and I winged it, and I wouldn't say that it ruined my trip because I'm in Yosemite, so it's a beautiful place, but it could have been a lot better had I planned ahead. So I just want to put that out there. The only other thing that I don't have here, but I will bring with me, is I bring a headlamp. You don't have to have one, but they're pretty inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon. I got mine at REI, but you can get one in Amazon. They're really handy to have, especially if you're walking the valley at night. It's really nice. Or sometimes you get caught with the sun setting earlier, you're on a trail and you think you have enough time and the trail ends up taking you longer than you anticipated. It's really nice. That has happened to me. Oh gosh. And I'm forever traumatized. So I will never not go on a hike without it. I don't even care if I start at 9 in the morning, because that's exactly what happened to me once. So headlamp that's not shown here is also something that I like to bring. So with that, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to put this all in this bag, put it back together, and then I'm going to get ready for bed. I have a full day of work tomorrow, and then we're off to Yosemite. I am so excited. So we're here at the Westgate Lodge, and this is one of two places that we stay. We normally stay at Rush Creek, but that's a little expensive, especially at this time of the year. So considering we're only staying 2 days, Westgate Lodge off of 120 is a really great option. It's a motel, but it's really, really clean. All the rooms are always super clean. And so what I'm showing you here, this case, in this room, we've got 2 queen beds. And then I really like the way that they do their setup. So like you've got a desk, you've got like a chest of drawers, which we never use, a TV, and then you've got like a little station where you can put all your stuff. And then it's got a cute little kitchen setup, like a fridge and microwave and coffee maker, super clean. And then here is like the vanity hair dryer, closet. Here's a bathroom, tons of towels, again, super clean. Bathtub, especially the bathtub, I mean, just really clean. It's just really a well-maintained motel. Great option. Yeah, I mean, this is a really great option if you are looking to be close to the park. It's roughly about like 15 minutes from the entry, which is relatively close, 15 to 20 minutes, something like that. So check it out. If you don't want to spend a whole lot of money but you want a super clean room, this is really a great option. We're leaving Westgate Lodge and heading over down the road, and it's my favorite moment, the anticipation of getting to the entry gate. But before we do that, we are going to make a pit stop 15 minutes away at the Rush Creek Lodge. We'll stop here and have some breakfast, and if we think about it, we'll also pick up some snacks. And anyone is welcome to come to the lodge. In fact, they encourage you to come, so feel free to walk on in and enjoy the grounds. Good morning. It's day one. It's our first full day in the valley. So first, pro tip, we are at Rush Creek, and normally we stay here, but didn't want to drop a ton of money on hotels this week. I have other things that I'd like to do. But from our motel, Rush Creek is, I'd say it's about a 15-minute drive, and then we come here because they have really good food. So we are here for breakfast this morning. It's really beautiful here. And then once we finish breakfast, we will head over to the entry. No audio here. Bummer. I thought I was recording, but nonetheless, I know that I am very, very excited. I love when I get to this particular spot. It just brings me so much joy. Now driving to the entry gate, the west entrance of Yosemite. We have a season pass, so we just kind of get flagged through, which is really nice. But the drive is just so amazing. That first view of Half Dome there is spectacular. Yosemite is located in the Sierra Nevada mountains of Central California. It's one of the most beautiful national parks in the country. And as you know, it's one of my favorite places. Because I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, it's about a 3-hour drive, and I can come as often as I like, and I try to get here at least 3 times a year. It's just majestic. That view, that first time you come upon this, it just never gets old. It is absolutely stunning, and it just takes your breath away. For me, it's really the process of shedding my shell, my armor, and I just start to feel so peaceful. The first thing we do typically is we come up to the lookout point. It's just a must. We do it every time, and we take a really corny picture here of Half Dome, just because we have to. And it's really cool to look back over the years and to see all of the pictures that we've taken, and you know, us as we get older and older. It's just absolutely beautiful, and I just love it so much. While you're up here, another suggestion, I lost my audio and I was telling you about it, but another suggestion is to get back in the car, go through the tunnel that is up there, and here we are going around and back through that tunnel, because what you will see when you come through that tunnel is just majestic, and nothing gets old about that. So just a pro tip, take the tunnel and come back around. You won't regret it. The next thing we like to do is stop at the general store, the big store in the valley, just to check everything out, to see what's new, what's happening, check the crowd out. But here you can find pretty much anything you're looking for. Tons of souvenirs, tons of snacks, coffee, lots of different kinds of beef jerky, general groceries. They have a huge freezer section. They have fresh produce. They have rotisserie chicken, health and beauty aids. They have camping supplies, basic houseware supplies, lots of alcohol, dairy products, more souvenirs, more alcohol, and some Christmas. Next, we always go to the Welcome Center. It's been redone and it was moved over. And this is a great place to come if you just want to talk to a ranger. You're not sure of what you want to do, what to hike. They have really great suggestions for you. They can also give you updates on trails or just things in general that are happening in the valley. After that, we walk over, start walking the valley, and that's what we did most of the day, just taking it all in. It was just so beautiful. The day was pretty magnificent. And here we are stopping by the Ansel Adams Gallery. There was something that I was looking for. I didn't find it, but it's always nice to go inside that store. There are lots of beautiful things and some beautiful photographs and art. We did decide on day 2 to do a hike. This was not a very technical, nor was it very strenuous, though there was a loop where you could actually make it more challenging. We didn't do that loop because we were actually going to be leaving later in the day and just wanted to enjoy other parts of the park. So we ended up doing about a little over 2.5 miles on this particular hike, and most of it was flat, and it was really beautiful. But I will warn you that the very beginning of it is quite noisy, as there are several people on this hike. But as you get further out at about the 1.5 mile mark, the crowd sort of disappears, and most people do turn back. So it really is a beautiful hike, and I would highly recommend it. Really beautiful terrain and lots of boulders and rocks. I lost my audio, but here we decided to go to the Ahwahnee Hotel after our hike. We were pretty tired and hungry after walking so much and then hiking. But the Ahwahnee Hotel is considered the jewel of Yosemite. It is a majestic hotel that was built in the 1920s. It was built to attract well-to-do clientele, and it still attracts some well-to-do crowds. But you can, there's different eating areas here. You can enjoy a meal, you can enjoy a drink, and just hang out and enjoy the beautiful rooms within this place. There are lots of great details, great furnishings, great lighting, light fixtures. It's pretty amazing. Here we are entering into what's called the Great Room. They've got a huge roaring fireplace, more comfy couches and chairs, and I've taken a few naps here in my time. But off to the side on the patio, you have tremendous views, beautiful views of Half Dome. And now it's time to head home, so we take in as much as we can, do a couple of loops around the valley floor to soak it all in. It was so beautiful. I feel so relaxed and refreshed. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed being here. Until next time.